This is the Radiomaster trainer, and this is going to be perfect for people like me, like dads like me, who want to teach their kids to fly. So we have this tiny little box right here. This is going to be a huge deal when it comes to getting my daughter to fly. This is the Radiomaster S-Bus wireless training module. And essentially the way this works is it is going to let me take control from like my daughter's, like if she is learning to fly, I'm going to be able to sort of have like a supervising role when I'm doing that. The way it works is you take your two radios. So let's say I give my daughter the yellow radio. I'm flying around with the pink radio right here, and I put the module in here. The module goes in. You put a little S-Bus receiver in the back right here, and it's got two little ports. There's also two different versions as well. Now, this radio will bind up to the receiver in here, and then this radio will bind up to the drone or the plane, the wing, whatever you're going to be flying. So when you're cruising around, you're going to be able to flick a switch. It's going to give control over to this radio. And if you flick the switch the other way, you take control back. It's sort of like those cars that you see when somebody's learning to drive and they have like two steering wheels. So at any given time, the person with like the main control radio, the teacher radio, the non-student radio, they can take control and steer the model back or whatever you're going to do. Now, this is going to be great when I'm teaching my kid to fly because there's some more powerful craft that I want her to fly around. She's flown with some little drones in the past, but they don't actually quite have the power. Sometimes like she is out flying them, and other times that power will get her into trouble. So having that option is going to be amazing. That's what I can't wait to do with this little module. And I think for like $10, it's a really, really good price. The other part as well, this is going to be amazing, especially if you want to transition from drones to wings. So I've got some friends that I want to fly around some wings. Shout out to Mystery J. I want to go flying with him, but he has never flown a wing in his life. And that most times, like 9 times out of 10, you are going to crash a wing on that first launch. Like it's always a little bit sketchy. You never know exactly what is going to happen. So I can launch the wing, get it up in the sky, flick a button, and then he can take control, have a practice, cruising around. I can watch, and if it's really getting into some strife, it's great. I can flick that button, take control. I would also really like this for me if I was practicing some line of flight wing action, line of sight, I should say. I'm not good at line of sight. It messes my brain up too much. But maybe I'm getting a great idea. That's how I should practice. I should try flying that, and then Stickman Steve is watching in the goggles to take over FPV if things are really getting sketchy. Yeah, there we go. That's perfect. This is perfect. I'm going to be able to actually use this now. This isn't just for like if you want to teach your kids to fly. I'm going to be able to learn some new skills using this thing, doing some line of sight action, while Stickman Steve could be watching FPV. And if I have to scream, take control, then he can do that. So yeah, really, really cool stuff. You need to put your own little receiver in here. So in the back, any S-Bus receiver, you still need to go and get that. But I think like $10, like it's pretty cool. What would be even more amazing if they could just include this. Imagine this is a little extra that comes with like every single radio. I don't know, like they could probably get this price down even more. I really like that we could put that in there. I don't know, maybe even built internally into the radio somehow. Imagine that. That'd be pretty awesome. I think that'd be a great feature. Happy Fly RC. I've trained a number of folks on fixed wing on Spectrum, but this would be nice to use for training on a multi-rotor. Johnny DRC is saying he's taught a few people this way. It's a really cool concept. Yeah, it's been around for a long time. I think this is the first time that I have an easy solution like this that's simply really cheap. And often in the past, you had to run a wire between two radios. This is great. We're no longer like chained together or anything like that. You can simply plug this in, fly around, and at the flick of a switch, hand control back and forth between the two.